face me.
Shinobi.
Right, it would have said this, huh?
Pan pizza is Domino's best kept secret. It's handmade with fresh, never frozen dough, has 2 layers of cheese, toppings to the edge, and a crust.
Well, even though the giants were defeated, that didn't mean the flame living inside of the forge went with them. America would have been foolish to leave the forge just sitting here for anyone to use, and so she made sure that one giant was left alive to guard the forge against intruders of any kind. Upon realizing the flames of their forge would never die, Queen America marked him with a curse. O trifling giant, mayest thou tend thy flame for eternity. The curse she set upon the fire giant made it so that he couldn't wield it for the ruin and harm the Erd Tree. That curse is exactly why I think the fire giant fits perfectly with the virtue of humility. Yes, it's cursed. I know he doesn't have much of an actual character, but that's kind of the point. Humility exists in the opposition of pride. And the fire giant sadly doesn't have a shred of that left. It's a sad story, and another example of America's incredibly questionable ideology, but it's at least a story that's Speaking of America being insane, let's talk about her shadow, Malekith the Black Flame. First, though, I mentioned earlier that America is an imperium, but I can't really explain what that means. To understand Malekith's story, we're going to need to know more about Imperiums. What an Imperium is and how they come to be in the universe of Elden Ring is hard to nail down, but we know for sure that an Imperium is a being that is capable of descending to a type of godhood like America. Imperiums are not a race, nor is being one entirely genetic. America is part of the Newman race, and the description of the Newman's rune states that Newman are said to have come from outside the lands between and are in fact of the same stock as Queen himself. Newmen aren't automatically Imperials, but it seems like it could be partly genetic. A random born two children, Melania and Nicola. Both of these children were afflicted with some type of curse. Melania with the Spell of Rot and Nicola with Eternal Bleed. They were cursed like this because Miracle and Rakon are the same person. I know, it's too much to go into, but the point is that Melania and Nicola are both Imperial like their mother before them. Most Imperians are granted what's called a Shadow-Bound Beast, a creature created by the two figures that serve the greater will to accompany their Imperium. Melania and Nicola don't have shadows, though it's been theorized that they didn't need them because they were essentially double shadows, but another Imperium I like to talk about, being Princess Rani, does have a shadow. Rani is one of the children born from the marriage of Renala and Radagon when made babies with his own path. Rani has two siblings, but she alone is the Empyrean. Rani was granted a shadow by the two fingers, and his name was Blythe. I've been saying his name wrong for years, but I think I finally got it. Anyways, Blythe is Rani's loyal attendant, and he grows up alongside her. At some point, Rani turned her back on the Golden Order, and in doing so, would betray her ever so loving shadow. This betrayal would set off a type of failsafe inside of him that wouldn't allow him to go against the order that was placed there by the two fingers that created him. This inner conflict would drive him mad, and our character, if serving Rani, would be forced to slay him as he had grown to be too much of a threat. That was a lot of information that didn't have to do with Marika and Malekith, but I felt like a little context was necessary. When Marika proved to be an Empyrean, she was gifted her own shadow-bound beast, Malekith. Malekith is incredibly loyal and just as powerful. He proved his strength when he did battle with the Queen of the Ice Queen, another Empyrean who threatened America's order. The Glomite Queen wielded a legendary weapon known as the Godslayer's Lightsaber and allowed her to channel the black flames of destined death. A very dangerous power that, when ruin, posed a great threat to the community. When Malekith and the Glomite Queen clashed, though, Malekith prevailed. He would remove the rune of death from the Queen's sword and seal it away within his own weapon so that nobody would have access to such a terrible power. I believe this is when Malekith was named the Black Blade, and all was good for the time. I mean, how could it not be? Malekith was pretty much unstoppable now. His armor description even states that there was not one demigod that would not fear him. One fateful night, though, somehow a fragment of the rune of death was stolen from Malekith and was used to assassinate the Golden. Malekith had failed as a king. I would be too quick. Remembrance of the Black Blade tells us something hard to understand. America's sole meaning of her shadow was the best way to block the Golden's death. Well, how exactly did she betray him? It isn't clearly stated, but it's implied that America had a hand in securing the fragment of destined death so that the Knight of the Black Knives would be a success. She needed Malekith to lock it away, yes, but only until she needed it. America used Malekith just as she used Godfrey and the Fire Giant. And to be clear, it's obvious that Malekith is completely unaware of America's betrayal. So, how exactly does Malekith represent diligence? Well, his story doesn't end at the Knight of the Black Knives. Malekith, now thinking himself a failure, seal away the rune of death in his own body and dedicate his life to cleaning up his mistake, would create the bestial sanctum and lead the Tarnish to collect death root from him. This death root is a direct result of Godwyn being slain, and so Malekith, or should I say Garunk, who lived and took up after secreting himself, thought if he consumed all of the death root in the land, that maybe the death would stop spreading. It was wrong though. By consuming the death root, he only now created more death, and as to not further fail America, he decided to travel to a place that sort of exists outside of time. He wanted to travel to the crumbling farm of Asshina. After burning the Erd Tree, we confront him here as to take the rune of death for ourselves, and he is really baffled by this. Similar to Godfrey taking his power back from Siraj, we push Garunk to the edge, and he only has one last resort. Malekith, the Blood Blade, is returned once more, and the battle is truly a sight to behold. He was destined death beautiful, but no matter how good he is fated to lose. With his last breath, he apologizes to me. He had been betrayed, even though his Malekith did his best to stop the spread of death root and to defend the rune of death. If that isn't diligence, I really don't know what is. I call Godfrey the first Elven Lord, as that is his title, but we know that that isn't totally accurate. The remembrance of the Dragon Lord tells us that the Dragon Lord whose seat lies in the heart of the storm beyond time is said to have been Elven Lord in the age before Mercy. This is a hard concept to grasp, though the times before Mercy and the Elven Order were incredibly well documented. What we do know, though, is that in this prehistoric era, the Elven Ring definitely existed in some capacity, and that the ancient tribes were the people they ruled over were the Eastmen that reside in Peninsula, and though I don't want to dive too deeply into their lore, it's clear that the dragons were on top. The one that reigned above them all though was Placidusax, as he is literally called the Dragon Lord. Being at the top of the food chain, though, doesn't automatically make that Lord. That's a specific title given to those who are consort to some type.
Yeah, boy! Yeah, boy! Yeah, boy! Yeah, boy! The GENICHIRO! Battle memory of an extraordinary foe lingering in the mind of the wolf. Commune with Mexico dictates wolf sword vengeance on GENICHIRO ASHINA. Ah! Even caught lightning. It's easy to catch lightning. It's just jump L1 R1 before you touch the ground. It makes sense. Insurance very good. Interesting. Yeah, let me save this. Oops. Burn earth.
You were victorious, I see.
Are you?
I mean you no harm. Shinobi of the Divine Lord GENICHIRO, is this the rejuvenating waters?
I killed you, though.
ASHINA. This land is everything to me. For her sake.
More?
I will shed humanity itself. Resurrection. Yes. Indeed.
Sekiro.